Welcome to Productive Joy with Dr. Christie, where fun meets action.
Hi, friends. Welcome to Productive Joy. I could not be any more excited for this particular interview. My friend, Dr. Jill Waggoner, and I met when we both got to do a TEDx, and today you're going to get to hear all kinds of amazing things from this woman. She is so many fabulous things. So she was a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader. She also is the author of 8 books. She really believes in women's wellness and is trying to make us all a little healthier. She's a food expert. She is a national medical expert for NBC, ABC, and Fox affiliates. She is a TEDx speaker. She's a wife. She's a mom. And she is quite the chef when it comes specifically to German chocolate cake, which is so complex that she only makes it twice a year. And today she's our guest on Productive Joy. Welcome, Dr. Jill.
Oh, thank you for having me. I really sound important.
You are important, so important. And I didn't mention that you're also a teddy bear, which is just probably the best part of you. Dr. Jill, I got to sit next to you while we were both a little nervous and getting ready to record our TEDx. And you immediately just put people at ease. You make people feel comfortable and welcomed and loved. And I want you to tell our listeners why they should listen to the next 30 minutes, because I need them to feel some of you come through this computer.
I think they should listen, first of all, because of you. You give this incredible warmth. No, really. And there's a joy that comes with you that is somehow settling and helps people to just feel peace and love. And so I think that's very important. And I hope we have something great to say, just the experience of the two of us who come from, we just happen to meet. This incredible thing, we're TEDx speakers.
Yeah, we are.
We really are. And so I think that this is an opportunity that has been presented to us. So I hope we put something wonderful into the world.
I have no doubt we will. And by now, yours should have dropped because they told us kind of mid-January, and that's where we are. So y'all go Google it right now. This woman is phenomenal. Dr. Jill, you have quite a story, and I think you could probably go in about 10 different directions with that story. So I'm going to let you decide where we dance today. What part of your story would you like to start with?
Oh my goodness. Probably the part that catches people's attention is that I was able to reduce myself physically 100 pounds. And yeah, I can't, it's interesting even inside of me, look at me and to say that out loud. The part that still breaks my heart is that I had 100 pounds to lose. And so I'm sure there are other people out there who feel the same way. And you think it is absolutely overwhelming. The first thing is you think, how did I ever get here? And what happened to me, what happened in my life that landed me here? And it sounds like an insurmountable feat to try to correct it. And so I was able to, at the age, a really grown age, at that age, when most people think, okay, it is what it is. At this point, I was able to transform myself physically, which has led to this transformation, I think, spiritually and emotionally in a lot of things.
Yeah. And that's really what your TEDx was about, was transforming yourself from the inside out and becoming the version you're supposed to be. You're a medical doctor. You spend your time doing in-home care, like I don't know if I want to call it a concierge service, but why don't you explain that part that then has led to you healing people, which is essentially what you're doing.
Technically concierge. And a few years ago, actually, it was in 2019, at the end of 2019, and I made this decision with my medical group, and they said, do you want to do this thing? And I said, of course I do. This is what I've always wanted to do. We went through, I guess we started about in the summer of 2019. The transition was complete in January 2020. We went into a concierge practice from a traditional family practice, which I had about 8,000 lives I was responsible for. And so I went to I know that's ridiculous to even say it. And then I went into this thing, and then the pandemic hit. I thought, oh my gosh, I've done the wrong thing. how will I ever be able to survive this? What's going to happen? And the contrary happened. I was available to people in a time when they really needed somebody. They needed a human being in place so that they could come in and they could get a hug. Actually hugged people. I put on all of my mask and my stuff and hugged people and just threw that gown away and put another one on for the next person. But I was actually there to see people and to physically touch them. And it really helped me know that this is what I was supposed to do. So now I have the opportunity, because of the way this practice is structured, to actually sit down with other human beings about their health and well-being without being rushed and all of the other madness.
What a beautiful thing. So my father is 88 years old, and he has just shifted into a concierge doctor who comes to his home, sits with him for an hour. That's the part he can't get past. He's like, I've never spent more than 15 minutes with a doctor, and now this doctor sits with me and talks to me. And that's what you do. I love the image that you just painted about hugging people when we didn't think we could touch people, and for you to heal them with that physical touch and then help them get healthy. What a beautiful testament to just who you are. Again, total magnets, I think, pulled us together. And when we sat together, it was one of those, I want more of this woman in my life. Like you just have this beautiful power in you. And you weren't taking care of yourself. And you said, I need to take care of me before I can take care of others, right? And that's what led to the journey of 100 pounds of weight loss. Wow, Dr. Jill, that's impressive. Did someone help you on that journey? Did several people? Like, how did you take that first step that led to a second step?
That is a very good question. It was actually one of my patients. And she came in and she was doing so well. And, we always ask the question in medicine, so what are you doing?
Yeah, what's working?
So she told me, and she was in a national support group for wellness. And she said, you can only join if you're invited. And I've invited you.
Oh,
And she said, please, I don't want to hurt your feelings. I don't want to be. She was afraid to say to me, I've invited you to this thing and it's about wellness. And I know you're a doctor and I don't want to insult you and all of those things. And I looked at her and I said, you cannot insult me. That was just done out of love. And I appreciated it. So I joined the group, the support group. Lord Jesus, I'm going to be in the support group. So the doctor, the support group, bless their heart. So I joined this group. And I did not agree with the science of the group 100%, but I had a conversation with myself. I said, what he's telling you not going to hurt you is the process that's important. You've been doing the same things forever. It's the process that's important. So anyway, join the group. I'm doing really well. And there is a lady who's in the group. She's actually across the country. Then he interviews her. She's an attorney. And this is what she said. It really turned my life around. She said, I'm an attorney. I'm very successful. She said, and what I recognize is any success that I've made in my life, I did it because I studied it.
Oh,
And she said, I've never put that kind of time and study into being well. And a light bulb went off for me. And I thought, girl, you're a doctor. My colleagues were calling me for COVID advice, the ones that were in the hospital, because they knew if anybody knew of something that was working anywhere in the world, it was me. So I'm one of those people. I take a deep dive. You're probably one of those deep dive people.
yeah.
So I'm in it to my ears and all of the latest information I can find. And I thought, really have never looked to see. I've only told people what I've been told. So I told them, oh, exercising for decades. But have I looked at the science? Have I really looked to see what has changed? And I did this deep dive and started to do it for myself, and it started to work. And so then I understood that I have to give the same kind of work for me that I give for everybody else. I also recognize that, and I say this in my TED talk, people couldn't hear me because they could see me. I
Mm.
was trying to tell them about wellness and I knew what I knew, but they could see me and they were thinking, well, you're real healthy to me. And so it was a battle, but I so understand them. It was also a journey
Mm.
that was necessary so that I would not be judgmental, that I would have compassion about the physicality of wellness, just like I do about high blood pressure and all.
Yeah. Oh, so thank you for a couple things. Thank you for being on a journey that you took others along with you, right? So that support group, they took you along initially, but I
Yeah.
guarantee you were a leader within that group before long because it's by nature who you are. You want to take care of people. And thank you for now telling people it can be done and it can be done well. It's just a beautiful thing. I'm part of the wellness committee for our organization and love it because we don't just talk about the physical wellness, we talk about emotional and all of the things. And I would call that productive joy. And my favorite question to ask on this podcast, because I always get a different answer, is if you had to define productive joy, I don't want to take words out of your mouth, how would you define it?
Joy that spurs you to action.
Mm.
That if it brings you joy, how can you take that joy and transform it into something that's productive for yourself or somebody else?
Be more love.
I think it's doing, but I'm a doing kind of girl. So
You're a doer for others, and I have a feeling you don't sit still well, and you are a learner, and you're somebody who recognizes the power of figuring things out for yourself and then taking action on those things. So, how do you help others create productive joy?
well, by really trying, I have two daughters. So the best place I think is always you start with your children, bless their hearts. But I think it is helping them to understand, first of all, how important joy is. That's the one thing. And the other is that you have the freedom to live life in the way that you want to. You take others into account, but you have to make sure that you live it in a way that you love it because your joy and your happiness is your responsibility.
Yeah. Live it in a way you love it. I am writing that down because I think we do a lot of living,
Yeah.
but we don't always choose to live well. I think we just wait for the next thing to happen. Like my one regret, my kids are 24, I have twins, and now my son's married, so I have three 24-year-olds. And my biggest regret in raising them is that I was always thinking about the next thing, right? So they were crawling and I was wishing they were walking, or we bought them bikes a year before they really could ride them, or computers, or whatever it was. I was always just saying, oh, well, when they, instead of being in that today, now moment. And I blame my Enneagram. I'm an Enneagram 7. I don't know if you're familiar with that personality test, but I'm an enthusiastic optimist who doesn't live in her feelings very well. And so I think I was rushing through things and missed some key things. And it sounds like you've learned, no, slow down, be in this moment because this is where you're meant to be right now. And your wellness will improve even by just doing that. What are some other tips and tricks, Dr. Jill, for people to get to where you are, where you took control of your wellness, not just your health, but your wellness to get to where you are today?
Oh my. That is a really big question because I think it's different for everybody. So the- you have to assess your, you know what it is that you feel like you're missing. And once you identify the thing, then you go for the thing so that you can get to where you need to be. I think we spend so much time following these rules that other people put in place for us, even if they don't fit us. And I go back to my daughters, they're both entrepreneurs. I have a 25-year-old and a 31-year-old. And I call them, I say I have Miss Congeniality and Sister Soldier. I don't know if you know who Sister Soldier
And to tell us all. Oh, shoot, you froze again.
is.
No, tell us
That
Yes. Okay, there we are. Okay, so say your
so
two girls' names again. You said Miss Congeniality and
Sister Soldier. Oh, Sister Soldier is like this. You do the right thing. You know, she was very powerful, black power side kind of girl. And then I have my other daughter who's like super joy. So I have taught them to just be who they are. That gives you great power because if you are who you are, I used to tell them my oldest daughter did performance and she was a fluffy little girl with natural hair and she would go at me and I don't know if I, should do this. And I used to say to her, if they are looking for you, sweetheart, you are the only you in the room. As a matter of fact, you are the only you on the planet. So walk into the room and be who you are. And I think that it has freed them in a way that I wish I had been free at their age. Oh my God, I was so trying to be the perfect everything. And so I wanted to give them the first one will have, she's got 2 or 3 piercings, or and the other one has a bow. Because I love it. I love that they are completely free to be who they are. So I cannot find happiness. You cannot find joy if you are living a life of pretend.
no,
You just can't.
no, you can't. Boarding, because I think I accidentally, hang on one second.
Sure.
Let's see if this does better. Okay. Are you there? Yes, I know. Are you there? Okay. Well, what happened is somewhere midway, it decided to switch to my phone internet when other internet, and I was like, this is glitchy. I want you to say that last a little bit again so that we get the best version of it because you were skipping. So I want you to talk about your 2 daughters, the bow and the piercings one more time. So can you say that part one more time?
Absolutely. I have one daughter who is, power to the people. She'll do a piercing. And the other one who has a bow. Always like, my youngest, when she was little, I put a bow in her head. She flipped it off. Just didn't want to do that. But giving them the power and the freedom
Yeah.
to be who they are and to understand when they walk in a room, they can go and walk in fully themselves. And it's okay. I think that is just so important to be able to live a life that's full of joy and purpose and all of the rest of the good stuff.
Yeah, and thank you. Thank you for that, for sure. So here's where I want to end things slash take things because I could seriously talk to you for like 6 hours, but the reality is other people stop listening and that's no fun. And I'm going to guess you probably have something else to do. So darn it. Okay, so I do have some rapid fire questions, but before I get there, I would love for people to be able to find you, particularly people who could potentially use you as their doctor. So what's the best way to find Dr. Jill Waggoner?
Am all things Ask Dr. Jill. So my website is askdrjill.net and everything else. I'm on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook and all of those things. ask Dr. Jill.
Okay, ask Dr. Jill. That's perfect.
Mhm.
Well, I could ask Dr. Jill a lot of questions, but I do have some rapid fire questions for you. Are you willing to join me?
Yes, girl, I'm ready.
Okay, there are no wrong answers. No wrong answers. Question one. What is your definition of fun?
Yeah. For me, fun is being at the beach. That's just fun is doing what I want to do for as long as I want to do it, the way I want to do it, and what I want to wear.
I love
Kind of
that.
dress without make with makeup, whatever I'm feeling. But for my favorite place on earth, the beach.
What do you
So
have a
fun.
favorite beach?
No, I really don't. It's it's got to be a good one, a good clean one. But girl, you can do a fake beach and get me. But I just love laying by the water. It's fun to me doing absolutely nothing. It's
Yeah.
fun.
That's a beautiful thing. Well, I live a mile and a half from the beach on the west coast of Florida, and I wish I could say I got there more often. Like, it's ridiculous. So you're reminding me that I need to go, even though it's January and colder than I would want it to be. It's still warmer in Florida than most places. All right. How do you know that you are showing up as your authentic self?
Feeling comfortable.
Yeah.
If I'm uncomfortable, it's probably because I'm not my authentic self. And so something about the circumstance or me has switched me into a different mode. And that's how I know it's a spidey sense. I don't belong here.
Yeah.
Because I'm not worthy of being here. But this is not what I was meant to do with my wife.
I like the reference to your spidey senses. Sometimes we just know, right? This isn't for me. And we don't always listen. And so I'm glad you're learning to listen. Okay.
Yeah.
How do you channel?
Sometimes
Yeah.
I'm
No, that's okay. How do you channel your best self on your worst days?
actually talk to myself. Literally have to do self-talk. Recognize that what I tell myself means everything. So I really have to say, okay, girl, that's not real. What you're feeling is not real. And sometimes I talk to myself about the other people in the scene. So they may be having a bad day. And so I'm saying, this is not directed at you. They are having a bad day. So therefore, you either move out of their way or you try to help improve it.
I love that. Okay, last question. Of all the wonderful things you've said, I mean, you've talked about wellness, you've talked about your journey, you've talked about your girls being unique and the beauty that is showing up as your authentic self. You've talked about loving yourself enough to take care of yourself, lots of things. But by nature, people can only remember one thing from our 30 minutes together. What's the one thing you really want them to hold on to today?
It's important that they know that they are the only them on the planet. Even if you're a twin, you're the only you. And when you recognize that I am the only me in the world, then you don't have to be anything other than yourself. As a matter of fact, you owe the world being you because you are here for a reason.
Well, that's a mic drop moment, my friend. And I am just so thankful that you chose to say yes and that you decided to be a guest on Productive Joy because the world needs more Dr. Jill, period. Because you are the only one and you are such a gift. So thank you for sharing your gift on Productive Joy. I'm really appreciative.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah. This was just plain fun. And listeners, if you didn't get something out of this, you weren't listening. So go back and listen again because she had all kinds of wisdom for you. And today, just like always, I want this to be a shot of B12 for you, that reminder that you have more control than you realize and certainly more influence over who you are and how you show up. So take something and use it because otherwise this was a waste of your time and figure out a way to turn fun into action.